everybody. One day, this will work perfectly. Oh, alrighty then. Hey, everybody. So we are live, I think maybe week 4, week 5 of our updates. Kelly with Welch team here. And then also we, of course, have George.
Hi, I'm George Bodenkolm with the Welch team, buyer's agents on the team. This has been a fun little day. Been out all afternoon, all morning and afternoon. So I literally just walked back in the office like 2 minutes ago.
So what you're telling me is that things are going well out there in the market.
It is.
Fantastic. That's what we want to hear. So I'm going to see if we get a couple more people popping in here. We have a special guest this week. What you're telling me is that things are going well. Me again. Our special guest this week. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to log in on my phone so that we can see some comments here, too, at the same time. Again, my name is Kelly DeLucia, Welch team listing specialist, and George has already introduced himself. We will have a special guest this week, Justin Henderson, owner of CrossFit Jacks Beach. One of the things we are trying to do is really, bring in other people in the community so that they can share their experiences, whether they're a small business owner or somebody that is or is not affiliated within the real estate industry. I think it's really important that we try and pull some positivity from everything that's happened. And I think that you guys are going to love what you hear from Justin today. So I'm going to real quick go back to sharing my screen. We'll jump right in unless, George, you have something that you want to share with us instead.
No, going into it was great. I mean, talking about positivity, that's key. I mean, we're all in this together. So we want to make sure that we don't just talk about the virus and talk about other things, the positivity, what all the good has come out from doing this. So good focus.
Awesome. All right, so jumping in here, I'm going to get my screen share up. This week, we're going to do it the right way. I maybe promise you that you're not going to see my Facebook page. I mean, that's a maybe promise, though. So, and then when Justin joins us, we will introduce him. He's got a couple things going on today, so I want to make sure that we give him time to hop in on our call. So he'll be here for the second half. First half, George and I are going to go through our regular market update. All right, so here we go. And share screen. We did it. We're in there. And make it a little bigger for you guys. Okay. All right. Our smiling faces again, just so everybody can see who our guest is this week. Weekly trends, again, we pull the weekly portion from our local MLS data. We also use some national information that we get updated on at 2 o'clock. So literally an hour and a half ago, we get updates on the national trends and what Metro Study has been pulling along with Myers Research. So we are fortunate to have their data to share with you as well each week. That's hot off the press. Right. So the past few weeks, I have put together a chart here of where we are at in terms of listings, closings, sales, everything in that nature. Really important to note here that we've got good numbers in terms of pending sales for the last 2 weeks. So 814 pending homes. And then this week we went down to 726. And then you notice the line above that, new listings for this week, they're down to 705. Well, what does that mean? That just means we have really low inventory right now. It is hard to find a property that, for some buyers out there, especially in some price points. And we'll get into price points in a little bit. But with that new listings number going down, I think we're seeing the impact of people wrapping up maybe some of the home projects that they've been working on, because we know that there's been a lot of DIY, a lot of landscaping going on, a lot of interesting stuff going on for people at home so that they, you know, can get their home ready to put on the market. So this week our inventory level was a little low. Our pending sales subsequently correspond to that. And then if you see here on the bottom, our bottom line, sold homes, oh, hey, Justin just joined us. So good. We're going to be able to pop over to him in a few minutes after we go through our market data. But our sold homes, you'll see the asterisk that I put by it. So, and then underneath, so 372 for last week and only 361 homes closed the last 2 weeks. That is a direct reflection of what was happening 60 days ago. So our market data is on a 60-day lag. You know, could be 60 to 90 days depending on your price point and depending on days on market. However, this would be pretty typical what we would expect to see. So the homes that are getting listed today, when those inventory levels are coming back a little bit, we're not going to see those homes close out until potentially the end of June into July. So, you know, these numbers look pretty consistent. But the biggest piece I want to point out is not a ton of new listings last week. So if you are interested or think that you're planning to put your home on the market or you're getting those projects done, maybe you're just trying to get those kids done with the last few weeks of stay-at-home school, now is the time to put it on the market. Competition is slim. George, anything you want to add to that?
No, and that's key. I mean, the new listings have been we definitely saw that increase a few weeks ago, but those homes that came on the market have all kind of gone off very, very quickly because you have so many buyers out there looking, and we're going into multiple offers. We are constantly in the hunt for new properties. So can't stress enough how important it is. If you were thinking about selling your home, now is the time. Now is the opportunity for you to get out there and put your home on the market and probably come off of it pretty quickly just because of how many people are out there looking. Again, it still goes to setting the home up correctly, pricing it correctly. But if you do that, you'll find several people who are very interested in it and then want to jump all over that.
Yep. So 100% true. Sorry, I was a little bit looking at who we had following us. Welcome to those new people that joined us. If you just joined in, we have Justin Henderson here, owner of CrossFit Jacksonville Beach. He's going to give us some insight from his neck of the woods in a little bit. We're going to try and breeze through our local market stats here real quick. So I'm going to keep going forward. Another interesting piece of information from this week. So last week we talked about how mortgage loan applications had, at the very bottom of our COVID stay-at-home orders, we were down 35% in mortgage applications. Then we came up to only down 15%. And then last week we were only down about 11% of people applying for new, putting in new loan applications. We are almost level now, which is tremendous to note that, from where we were a few weeks ago to the number of buyers who are seeing more confidence in, okay, this might be the right time for me to really get after that house that I want to buy. Rates are low. So this is a huge statistic to look at. Certainly there are some people out there refinancing, and that may have an impact on these numbers, of course. But overall, we've made a huge jump from where we were mid-April, almost back to 2019 levels. Then sales data real quick. So we, year over year, I just showed you your weekly, new listings, pending listings sold. But where are we year over year in total number of homes sold? So this 38% where the arrow's at, that's the national average down. We are performing much better at only down 23%. So if you look at this chart, you will see that overall, comparative to a lot of the other cities on this list, I mean, we're sitting at number 3. That's great for a larger metro market.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Just real quick, a why on that. I mean, right now, or a couple weeks ago, there was a thought of what's going to prevail. Are buyers going to be motivated by really low mortgage rates, or are they going to stay at home and sit out on purchasing because of fear? So there was a little bit of the fear factor in the beginning. But right now, buyers are motivated by extremely low, historically low interest rates. Saw a quote for 2.75 the other day. I mean, that's tremendously low. So this little chart here just shows in March 2020, so this was a Google search. This goes back, I know you can't see it, this goes all the way back to 2014. So if you've ever Googled something, you obviously know that they track those statistics. So the specific search line was, should I buy a house? Or is now a good time to buy a house? So in March 2020, more people were Googling that than ever. And guess what happened? Sales started to come back. People are buying houses. We're getting more phone calls. George, what kind of phone calls? When you take a phone call from somebody, you get an online inquiry. I imagine that conversation a lot has to do with, I mean, is this a good time? Should I buy a house?
And we see that. I mean, it's not just for new home buyers too. We see a lot of people, especially after spending 60 days in your home, a lot. You're realizing one doesn't work. It's too small. It's too big. You need a bigger backyard. You want more space. A lot of people are realizing that, their current home just doesn't work. So we saw a lot of people asking, hey, is this a good time for us to go out and buy a new home? And it's constant and asking, are people selling homes right now? Is it still a good time? Yes, it definitely is. Interest rates are low. So and the competition is very low. So you can put your home on the market and expect to get multiple people interested in it pretty quickly. So the timelines to really kind of make that move have really shortened for a lot of those people. They may struggle to find their next home, but it depends on their price point.
Yeah, that's a whole another story. Where are you gonna go?
Yes. But I mean, yeah, it's still a case of homes coming and going pretty quickly, and depending on what you need, there are tons of options, tons of opportunity. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of you have to be ready to make that decision, because it does not sit around for very long.
No, it certainly does not. And I think that's why we're seeing some of those loan applications skyrocket back up too. People are realizing that if they want to get into something, they need to move on it and they need to be ready and prepared. Which one of the last slides that I want to cover just in our brief market update, the number of showings we're seeing on listings now is back to where it was before COVID. So pardon my short abbreviation here, but if you use weekly average BC, so before COVID, so this was the last week in March that, I see you laughing at me, that's fine. So the first week in March, data about showings per price point, and then compared to last week. So look at these numbers. So the gray columns are this past week, and then the white columns, the BC columns before COVID. These numbers are very consistent. Some of the numbers are even better than they were before. So we are seeing, buyers aren't scared to get out there. Sellers are opening up their homes for showings with proper precaution, of course. But our showing levels are doing great. Agents are out there, they are working. And in many cases, those weekly averages have gone up. Of note, you would probably suspect, but some of those higher price points have gone down a tick. Some people are willing to make a deal in those luxury price points because they know that there might not be as many buyers out there looking. So that would be our positive takeaway from that. So if you are somebody who's looking in those 800, 900 million plus ranges, you potentially could have a better opportunity to negotiate a more favorable deal at this point in time. Showings are down in that market. So that really brings us to Justin Henderson, who I have known for longer than I care to admit. And I don't know if Justin wants to share his screen at all, but I'm certainly going to leave that up to him, or if he just wants to grace us with his presence and chat with us. I had some questions that I thought we would run through. But Justin has been a gym owner for the past several years. He built out, made extremely successful CrossFit Jacksonville Beach. Justin, please introduce yourself and share a little bit.
Hey, thanks for having me, Kelly. Yeah, we've, like Kelly said, known each other way too long. So we'll leave that where it lays. Thanks for having me on your podcast thing here. I don't really have anything to share on my screen, so
okay, didn't know.
No worries there. I am the owner of CrossFit Jacksonville Beach. We're out here. We kind of do our thing. We do CrossFit as a fitness methodology, if you will. But we kind of take it a lot more than that. Our focus is on getting people healthy, taking them from a place of where they're not healthy, whether that's physically, emotionally, whatever, and get them into a place where life is happy and better for them. It's not necessarily how fit and how ripped can I get in the fastest amount of time possible. It's like, we really focus on lifelong fitness, people being happy and being able to play with their kids, getting people who are sedentary off the couch, getting them moving, getting people off their medications, getting people really just healthy.
So Justin, thank you for being here. And for everybody also, Justin came here on a kind of a last minute notification by me. So I really do appreciate it. And your willingness to jump right in.
No worries.
So how would you say, this overall experience? I know personally that you guys have implemented some really neat things in your own personal life and in your professional life while the past 2.5+ months have been going on. But can you share with anybody out there, what has your overall experience been, since stay-at-home was issued, and then now that we're starting to be able to go back to work, you guys are able to open back up?
Right. Yeah. So, overall, I think it's the same for everybody, right? It's been stressful,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's stressful because it's unknown,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's the whole unknown of how everything gets going. It's like, we live in Florida and we're prepared for hurricanes. There's always that unknown when a hurricane's coming, it's coming, but then you kind of know when it's going to be, but then it's gone. This is still here, and everybody's still in hurricane mode,
Mm-hmm.
and we're still in panic. And it's like, guys, this is here. It's not going anywhere. It's not a hurricane. It's not just going to stop. So we got to get back to normal semblance of life, right? And as a gym and gym owners and stuff, for us, we've had to change, right? We got shut down. There was no way around that. It's kind of, hey, you got to shut down. Us as business owners, we felt it was morally responsible for us to shut down, to get people out of the gym, get people home, stay at home, stay away from people, quarantine, whatever you're doing, but limit the spread of the virus and all that stuff. We took that as a very great opportunity to really get more involved in our clients' lives. From day one, we basically took an overnight pivot of, hey, we train everybody in the gym and I see you every day, to now I'm going to be on a Zoom call with you every day personally. I'm texting you every day. I'm, firing up. We're setting individual goals. We're, staying way on top of everybody for accountability. So instead of, for us, the focus went from, hey, I need to see you in the gym every day, to how can I keep you accountable when I don't see you, right? We've had to implement a lot of things to go into that and do that. Ton of time on the computer, ton of time on the phone. We put out online workouts. We're putting, daily workouts and breakdowns and all that stuff. We do these Zoom calls. We actually do live classes on Zoom calls, and those have actually been a welcome relief. It's been nice. It's been fun to do those. It's been interesting to see how we can reach different people going that route. What
type of feedback? That's, first off, you're one of the very few people that I've heard say, go through we're still talking to you on a daily basis, and you're making actionable progress, not just, hey, if you want to reach me, I'm here, always, give us a shout, but how many people actually do that? You're making it a priority to reach specifically out to your clients so that they know that you're there and you're taking that extra step of being the one who makes the first move, making that phone call.
Right.
And that's amazing, because if anybody's like me, my next thought was, well, how do you stay motivated? How do I stay motivated? Like, I didn't want to work out at all during this whole thing. How did you keep your motivation up to want to, be there for your people? And, how did they take that? Like, how was that?
So I think genuinely for, our motivation is A, I have a wife who'll kick my ass if I don't. B, we motivation wise, we're intrinsically motivated to this. That's why we started the business in the first place. We care about people. We care about our clients. We care about what they're doing and how they're living their lives. So it's natural for us. It's easy for us to just get right in there and get involved. There was never even really a, should we do this? Do we need to do this? It was like, of course we're going to do this. It doesn't make any sense not to. Just go.
How do you think that's changed you as a business, like as a business model or as a business owner? What do you think that impact will be on your overall future success?
I haven't really taken the time to sit back and see what's going to happen with that. We're still very, very new, early in the stages of being open and getting back to doing things. So we're still kind of in that middle ground now of still doing some of the stuff we were doing when we were fully at home, still, the gym stuff. If we do a good job, people will tell people, more people will find us. On the business side, that'll ultimately help us, Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you're a referral, word of mouth referrals are huge, I would imagine, right?
That's our biggest, obviously that's our biggest source of finding new people. And those are the people we ultimately want the most, is people that come from somebody else. It's like, hey, these guys are great, go there. You're like, all right, cool. Let's get rolling.
Do you think, do you think some of the things that you've done in these past 60 days is things that you'll continue, whether, you implement, some sort of feedback, constant text check-in or email checks-in to see, is that something you think you'll continue on?
I do. Yeah. So kind of a couple things we're looking at going forward is, how do we take that constant communication and how do we roll that into something new? Do we do a weekly, quarterly, whatever goals meeting set up with our clients where we're going to individually sit down with them inside? Do we keep doing them on a Zoom call, which might, from a scaling perspective, it's much easier to do it on a Zoom call than it is to have people come into the office at random times during the day. It's texting wise. Some of the online stuff we're doing, we're continuing to do the Zoom classes. We've actually had quite a bit of people reach out to us, and we really enjoy doing these. A, we might not be comfortable going back to the gym yet. B, this works out better with my schedule. I can do these when I travel. We've actually added members in the process while we've been closed that have only digital. They only interact with us digitally. And they're like, this is the best gym I've ever been a part of. And we've never even actually seen them outside of a video. Right. So that's super cool.
Right. It's impressive.
And it's seeing how we can, for us, it opens your eyes a little bit that, you're not just your brick and mortar facility, right? It's not just a gym, right? We're so much more than just a place people go work out.
So you're talking about personal branding too, and what you specifically bring to the table in terms of holding people accountable and motivating them. It's not just about the weight portion, like lifting weight portion, but the interaction piece and the coaching piece. Is there anything that you guys have learned or started since this, whether it's another professional endeavor? You hear all the time that, great ideas get born and, out of struggle, out of scarcity. So have you,
right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Most of this stuff, right, has been in that digital space. So like for us, we've had to adapt. We've had to get much better at video editing and shooting video. We've had to, we've started a podcast. We've done cooking shows, little things like that to create engagement, create, people around you, make people feel involved, to a degree, let the light in on your personal life and show people who you really are. Yeah. And then they respond to that and they feel a deeper connection and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that you get to add anything that you feel is really important that we should know. But I really want to get in one last question of my own, which is, this has been super stressful for people. And you hit on it in the beginning, it's my job to not only focus on the physical health, but, the emotional, the mental well-being of the people at our gym. So, what is your best piece of advice for anybody who's listening in terms of what can we do to take care of ourselves that is going to have results in other areas?
Yeah. So the biggest thing, and like we talk to people about this all the time, right? Is no one in life, let me backtrack here. In life, we're so focused on the goal, right? We gotta succeed in life. We gotta succeed in business. We gotta succeed in what we're doing. I gotta take care of my family. I gotta take care of my kids. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Nobody ever takes the time for themselves, right? It's like, hey, myself, I'll get to myself. I'll get to myself. No one's ever gonna take the time for yourself unless you take the time for yourself first, right? So unfortunately, to some degree, we only have one body. We only have one way to use it. You got to be a little selfish, and you got to put yourself pretty up there at the top of the list, right? So it's, look at your schedule, carve out 30 minutes, carve out an hour a day. I know I don't have time to do it is the common excuse, right? I guarantee if I said make an hour a day, I'll give you $1 million, you'd find an hour a day, right? So make an hour a day, make 30 minutes a day, get outside, exercise, sweat, right? Do something that's going to physically make you challenge yourself. Go for a run, go for a walk, whatever that may be, and consistently do it. Put it on the schedule, get consistent with doing it. That's going to be the biggest thing, right? You can dive down the rabbit hole, join a gym, watch your nutrition, all that. But first, be consistent. Start thinking of yourself and put yourself, literally get your Google Calendar out on your phone, put it on there. This is my hour, and it's going to be uncomfortable for a little while. It might be your lunch hour, right? You might not like it. You might be like, hey, I'm going back to work sweaty, but nobody really cares. You only care, right? You're like, I feel awkward and sweaty. Nobody cares.
Well, no, nobody can be, you have to be 6 feet away, so nobody will smell you anymore either.
Nobody's gonna smell you. You can't hardly get haircuts. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Post-COVID, you can do whatever you want.
COVID life. George, do you have anything else for Justin?
No, I mean, it's so important that what Justin just said there about just do something. I mean, be consistent. Everybody has 30 minutes to spare, whether that's getting up 30 minutes earlier, stop watching TV for 30 minutes and just run, do anything. And that's so important. And I think that's really, this has taught a lot of people to kind of look back at their lives and say, man, I've got to make a change. Got to get healthy. I can either sit on the couch all day and do nothing, or I can get out there and do something with it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
I was going to send everybody to your webpage here real quick, but something is wrong with my computer, or just operator error. It's probably operator error, but
technology's hard.
Technology's hard. Every week I joke that there won't be a snafu, but then every week there is a snafu. So I'm just rolling with it. It's just how it is.
There you go.
And I think that we all have to be easier on ourselves right now too, and give ourselves the opportunity to make a mistake, because it's never going to be perfect, and we can get stuck in not making the right moves because we're too concerned about, am I doing it perfectly? And
make a move first, and then worry about it's the right move.
Right, exactly. So I want to
real estate, make a move.
Make a move. There you go. Well, Justin, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
thank you.
It is good to virtually see you.
Yeah.
And can you tell everybody where they can find more about you? I would butcher it. You'll probably do a better job of directing people where you want them to go if they want more information, or what the next step they could take if they are interested in learning more about you.
Yeah. Always you can hit up our website. It's www.crossfitjacksbeach.com. You can find us on Instagram at CF Jacksonville Beach. You can find us on Facebook at CrossFit Jacksonville Beach. You can find us on Google at CrossFit Jacksonville Beach. You can email me at justin@CrossFitJacksBeach. We're everywhere.
I did it. I figured it out. Hold on.
4% effort on the internet and you'll find us, I promise.
CrossFit. Well, there's a lot of different gyms out there.
Yeah, CrossFit Jacks Beach. There we are.
There you are. So
not
everybody.
Me. I don't look like that, but.
Well, that's not you, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to find more information, you can certainly reach out to Justin. You can drop us a comment below. We will make sure that he gets it too. He's been tagged in our post on Facebook, and I will upload this as always to our IGTV, so you can have the replay if you want. Thank you again, Justin. Thank you, George, for being here. Anything, George? No?
Nope. Good. Everybody hears my name and my spiel all the time. So we're just here, glad to be out and about and talking.
Absolutely. So we'll be here, same place, different person, hopefully new guest next week. If anybody actually wants a community suggestion, we will take community suggestions on who you would like to hear from. That would be interesting. And questions, comments are always encouraged. Thank you to those who joined us live today. Thank you again to Justin Henderson. And that wraps us up for the week.
All right. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks,
Bye, George.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.